Hey, it's Mr. Lum, and we're going to go through this worksheet. What do you remember from grade 8 science class? So hopefully you had a little bit of time to work on this, and you worked on groups, and you brainstormed, and you tried to remember. Maybe you asked for help, which is okay. It's not for marks, but I just want to see, get the brain going and seeing what we remember from grade 8 science. So first off, what is a prokaryotic cell? You should have studied this in grade 8, hopefully. But that is going to be like cells that do not have a nucleus. No nucleus. Now, what kind of cells have no nucleus? That's going to be like your bacteria. Okay. What's a eukaryotic cell? Those are your cells with nucleuses. Okay. Or what has a nucleus and cells with nucleus? We have it. What is the difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells? We just talked about that. What does the mitochondria do in the cell? Hopefully, you said it's the powerhouse. Everyone says that, powerhouse. Okay. So the big thing it does is it creates energy in the cell, and it gives us a lot of energy. Okay, allows us to do a lot of things. What does the nucleus do in the cell? If you can remember that, that is the brain of the cell. It's making those decisions. It contains all of that DNA and all that information. And yeah, and that brings us to the next question. Where is the DNA stored in the cell? We just talked about that. That's the nucleus. Okay. Oops. Let's do, that's the brain. Now, do we remember all the different parts of the cell right here? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Let's find out. Okay. So, what we have right here is we're just going to go through a couple of them right here. We'll say 14 is pointing at this whole inside of this kind of thing right here. And we'll start right here, move ourselves counterclockwise. But we'll say that this is the cytoplasm. Small explosion went off. That's okay. That's the cytoplasm. And right here is the Golgi body. Do you remember what that does? It moves stuff around. Okay. What are these black dots? They're ribosomes. Okay. What's this thing? Cell membrane. Okay. This we'll talk about it another day, but this is the mitochondria. And we're going to be talking about these sticks a little bit later. But this whole thing is the nucleus. This thing down here is the nucleolus. These little holes in there are nuclear pores. It's for stuff to go in and out of the nucleus. And what's this thing right here? Well, the nucleus has a membrane. Okay. Now, this little thing right here, I'm not really sure what number 1 is right here. We'll talk about number 2 a little bit later. Now, This could be a vesicle, maybe. I think number 15 might be a vesicle, to be honest. That's just like a little transporting kind of bubble thing right here. This could be like a lysosome. And that kind of like does digestion and all that kind of stuff. This thing right here that's attached to the nucleus is called the ER, or the endoplasmic reticulum. What does the human immune system do? Well, it fights off bacteria um, and that kind of stuff. What is the difference between epidemic and pandemic? Epidemic is like viruses or disease or something is in this one area kind of thing, and pandemic, it's kind of like gone around the world. Um, what is the difference between protons, neutrons, and electrons? Protons are positive, neutrons are neutral, electrons are negative. Where are they located? Protons and neutrons are, now I know this is, they are in the nucleus, not of a cell, of an atom. And where are the electrons? They're flying around the outside. And they are, what are you calling, orbiting. What are their relative sizes and mass? And what is their charge? We did the charge. These things right here are big and heavy, and electrons are small and light. A proton and a neutron are almost the exact same size. A neutron is the tiniest bit bigger, but a proton is, well, to be exact, a proton is 1,836 times more massive than an electron is. And one thing hopefully you talked about in grade 8 is, how do earthquakes start? Well, there's these plates that are on the earth, and when they rub against each other or they're slipping underneath each other, that's how earthquakes kind of start. So hopefully some of that kind of rings a bell, and if not, that's okay. We're going to be talking a lot about all these different things throughout our course.